Hey, what's going on, guys? You're tuned in to the Talk About It podcast. I'm Lauren Fulmer.
I'm Victor Dantas.
And we are very excited about today's episode. We have Dave Munson with us today. Dave, how are you, man?
I'm doing good.
Good. You are one busy dude, so I will absolutely say thank you for taking the time to jump with us. I know you're like ready to go for the remainder of the year.
Yeah, so not a problem. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for coming.
We appreciate your support. You've been a big fan of the show. You always have kind things to say and some good feedback for the Talk About It podcast. So I appreciate that, but I'm also excited to have you on here and just be able to talk with you a little bit more about life and everything that you've been blessed in your business and everything. We're going to talk about skinny dipping and pools and everything.
Let's get it.
So first, Dave, man, you have a business, a family business that's been around for quite some time with Munson Pool and Spa.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk? Just go ahead and talk a little bit about that.
Munson's.
You got plenty, man. You do in-ground pools.
Well, yeah. We do in-ground pools. We do above-ground pools. You know, we're also in the hot tub business. Wow. We do saunas. Got a lot of things going on.
Do you have a pool at home?
Oh, yes.
Do you enjoy being poolside?
Oh, certainly. I mean, me personally, I could not imagine not having a swimming pool. You know, when we were young kids, we had a swimming pool in our backyard. And then, we had our own kids. I just could not imagine not having a swimming pool in the backyard.
Right. Yeah, it's a good thing for family gatherings, even just to relax, come home from work and kind of float in the pool or sit in the sun, whatever, you know.
Yeah,
as kids.
Exactly. Like for me, you know, I mean, I usually work 10, 12-hour days. So when I do all my swimming's at night. You know, so there is no sun. Sun's down. The only time that I actually swim during the day myself is on Sundays. But, you know, usually Sunday's my only day off. And, you know, I'm kind of like you. I like to hit the golf course maybe, you know. And I'd rather hit the golf course, to be honest with you, than get in the swimming pool because I can do that throughout the week. Right.
No, golf is one fun sport. And
yeah.
I see you out there quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get to play as much as I'd like, but especially since the pandemic. But it's actually more enjoyable for me now because I really don't think that, you know, I have to go out there and shoot a low score. It doesn't matter really what I shoot. I'm out there for a peace of mind, if you will.
That's what I say all the time. I shut my ringer off. I turn my music up. And enjoy a couple cold ones, and I don't care how good or bad I shoot. I really don't. I just want to relax and check out for a little bit. Usually you have, you know, some friends with you, and that's what makes golf
I'm definitely
fun.
an outdoor guy.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah. What about hot tub? You have a hot tub too?
We do.
You do?
Yep.
Do you get in there much?
Yeah, I use it way more so than the swimming pool.
Right. Well, especially you're doing physical labor all day. That hot tub probably feels good.
Yeah, you know, and then you get home. It's actually one of the best ways for peace of mind. You know what I mean? It's sometimes, you know, you get home at 8:30, 9 o'clock. You know, the wife's got dinner ready. You know, I'm eating dinner. It's time to unwind. And that's really the best way for me to unwind. And instead of, you know, going in and hanging out. And I'm not a TV guy, so.
David, yes, I can.
You can swim?
Yes.
I didn't mean to insult. Don't say yeah. A lot of people can't swim, bro.
I mean, I can, but yeah. I know a lot of people can't.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you?
No. I'm just playing. Yeah, I can swim.
David, how did that start? How did the company start?
Well, actually, I was born and raised in Galesburg. Graduated Galesburg. I left in 1979 and went into the military. I did 6 years in the military. I always wanted to be a meat cutter. When I was younger, and I say younger, 15, I actually started working for Lucky's, which was how you would remember it, the Eagles grocery store. Okay. We were a union grocery store. And, you know, I always wanted to get into the meat department because, you know, I mean, it's a union grocery store, right? I'm 15 years old. I'm making like $7, $8 an hour, which was really, really good money back then. Right. And I knew the guys in the meat department were making a lot more. So I always knew that I wanted to, you know, serve my country. So I said, I'm going to go into the military and I'm going to become a meat cutter. So I went into, I got through my basic training, went to AIT to be a meat cutter. And at that time, the military quit raising their own, beef and pork and started buying it boxed. So at that time, now I'd already had 9 months invested. They offered me to get out on a breach of contract. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to do that. What's everybody at home going to think? Yeah, you only lasted 9 months, Sure. So I ended up getting a job driving for the ration driver for the mess halls, which was a very, very nice job, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. So after my 4 years came up, I decided that, it's time for me to get out and I'll just go back to the grocery store. So I came back to Galesburg in '82. And then in '84, I moved to Champaign to run one of them stores. And I wasn't there for about, maybe a year, a little over a year. And Lucky's decided they were done. So at that time, my parents had owned a pool store. And they asked me to come back because there was lots of things that we wanted to do. They didn't actually own a pool store. It was a water conditioning store, but one day add swimming pools to it. So I'm like, man, I don't really know if I want to do that. How much money can you make in water? Is there really money in water? So I knew I had to make the change, and I went for it. And that's basically how I got started.
Yeah.
What were you in the Army?
I was in the Army. Yeah.
Army. I didn't know that about you, man.
Oh, you didn't?
No, thank you for your service.
Oh, yeah,
man.
no problem.
I had no idea.
Oh, all these times and conversations that we've had, I just can't believe that we've never talked about it. But yeah, I did 4 years active and then 2 years inactive.
Where'd you do your basic training?
I did my basic training in Fort Jackson.
Okay.
And then all of my whole time, I was in Fort Carson, Colorado.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is Colorado Springs.
Yeah. How'd you like Colorado?
I like Colorado, I did. I enjoyed the mountains, my time off, we would always definitely go to the mountains. Back then I used to like to snow ski. So, I did a few, snow skiing trips, but and not no place that I really wanted to stay, you know.
David, how's the pool business in the Midwest? The reason why I ask that is because, of course, we got like almost 5-6 months that's cold. The weather's cold. So how does that work? Do you think the location will interfere or interferes a lot when it comes to, growing your business, being successful compared to other hotter areas? Do a lot of people still want pools, and how is that working?
Well, like right now, I mean, you'd really be surprised at the number of pools that are in the Midwest.
Yeah.
But there is people wanting pools, all the time. Since the pandemic, it's been chaotic. Gas prices go up. We see an increase in pool sales, because people won't want to make that trip. They'll say, well, instead of spending $5,000 on a vacation, we'll put $5,000 in our backyard per se.
Yeah.
So, there's lots of need here. What is getting more and more difficult now is that our main obstacle, I should say, is weather. Weather plays a huge fact. And like you said, we do have 6 months that are cold. There's a lot of things that's been changed in the industry, but you can get 7 months. I got some people that get 8, but it just depends on what you're putting into it. So obviously if you have an above ground swimming pool that's sitting outside, in the weather, it's not going to be open as long as a in-ground pool with an automatic cover.
Do you sell a lot of heated pools as well, or no?
Almost every in-ground pool.
Okay,
for sure.
Are heated. Okay.
More and more people are buying above-ground pools. With an above-ground swimming pool, it's up in the weather.
Yeah.
So if it's 80 degrees during the day, the pool is obviously getting warmer. and then we get down into the 60s at night. Okay, if you don't cover that some kind of way, you know, you're losing your heat at night. In-ground pools, you know, they hold their heat a little bit better, but we sell way more above ground pools than we do in grounds. I mean, we average over 50 above ground swimming pools every year. In grounds, you know, it depends. But like, you know, this year, you know, I'm booked. I already got pools sold into next year.
That's awesome.
It is. I mean, I've been doing it a long time, and actually I was kind of thinking about this the other day when we were talking about Wednesday. Today, April 7th, is the start of my 38th year.
Wow.
You know, I moved back April 7th of 1986. So you know, today is the start of my 38th year.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Does it feel like it?
Yes and no. Body-wise, age-wise, yeah, it feels it. But no, it's all still good. You know, I'm a worker.
Right.
You know, I love to work, to be honest with you. Working is probably one of my favorite things to do. I know that might sound weird, but even when I'm off, if, you know, like I say, I don't watch much TV. If I do watch TV at all, it's sports related. I'm not one to take a nap. You know, me personally, I think taking a nap is a waste of life. You know,
Right. I'll sleep when I die.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, so if I if I have a day off, you know, a good day off for me would be to maybe, you know, go play 18 holes of golf or whatever, and maybe go home and clean my truck or clean the swimming pool or something. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah.
What about saunas? Do you sell a lot of sauna?
Saunas are picking up. We don't sell a whole lot of saunas. However, you know, I do have saunas on my floor. We do have saunas in stock.
Yeah.
Infrared. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have one at home?
I do not have a sauna at home.
I'm a big fan
Sauna
of
is
the
something
sauna.
I would love to have in my house.
Yeah.
There you go.
What do I need to have in my house? Like, how can I prepare my house to have a sauna? Is there anything?
You don't need
just water line and.
You don't need a water line either.
No? Okay.
All the saunas that I sell are infrared.
Okay.
It's actually penetrating heat. I get them. I buy all my saunas from QCA. They're a company that I've been buying my hot tubs and my. We buy several swimming pools from them as well, but they've got a very, very nice sauna.
Okay.
And so you don't need to prepare nothing.
So are you talking about dry saunas?
They're dry saunas, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You will have to, the only thing that you'll need is you'll probably have to change your electrical outlet, you know.
Okay.
So other than that, they come in 6 pieces.
Okay.
And we can carry them through any door, and then it assembles.
You have different sizes
and
too.
you're ready to roll, yeah.
And people usually have those indoor, or can you put in their backyard as well?
Yeah, well, I highly recommend that you keep them indoor.
Indoor, okay.
They do make covers for them, but you know, that's something that should be indoors.
Okay.
You know?
I enjoy the sauna a lot. I usually will go to the YMCA and use it after a workout, just to kind of detox and get a little more sweat. You know,
I like it too.
A lot of people will use them for detox. Me personally, the benefits for me is I have rheumatoid arthritis. I don't have it real bad, but I have it in my feet and I have it in my wrist, you know, from wrenching, you know, all the time. But if I feel pain and I sit in that sauna for one day for 45 minutes, that third day I know I'm ready to get back in there. But for 2 days, I feel like $1 million.
That's good. But
Yeah.
you'll last 45 minutes in there?
I can sit in there 45 minutes.
Dang, I usually try to get 15.
Yeah.
That's and I guess that's in the one there at the Y. It has more of the humidity, not
them are wet saunas, steam saunas.
Sure.
You know,
Steam, yeah.
You're adding water, you know, to coals, and and it's creating humidity.
Right.
So
Okay.
Yeah, about 15 minutes, I'm good.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
ready.
no, you'd be able to sit in the Therasana. I've got some customers that use them every morning for an hour. you know.
So yeah, if it's helping them physically feel better, I know,
yeah.
like I know for me, it's kind of like a de-stressor, that like mental check out for a little bit, just enjoy the heat, soak it up, you know. But I'm sure there's other health factors. I would assume it helps with your immune system. I know it helps with, you know, pain.
Oh, it does. It helps with circulation, you know. I mean, it's even reduced the size of tumors in some people.
Wow.
You know, there's places that are out on the East Coast, I think, and I'm sure that they're still going. When I used to do a lot of classes and stuff, that actually have places kind of like what you have set up here, and they'll have like 15 or 20 of these saunas, and they're rented, they're booked for 8 hours all day long.
That's crazy.
This is a kicker. 85% of them are doctor referral. So, you know, the doctors, the people that are having these issues, you know, they're sending them to these sauna clinics, and it's helping people.
It's working.
That's good.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't sell as many as I would like, but yeah, we sell some saunas.
Okay.
What let's switch gears. How did you get to become such a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan?
Lauren, I've been a Steeler fan since the backyard football days. You know, Franco Harris and Terry Bradshaw. You know, and so when you play backyard football, you know, everybody was somebody, right?
Right.
Even if it was baseball.
Right.
So, you know, I just took likings to the Steelers, and I've been a diehard ever since.
Where are the Steelers from?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about me coming here today, you know, and like, are you going to wear your hat? And I'm like, don't I wear a hat every day? You know, my hat ain't coming off.
Right.
You know, I either wear a Steelers hat or I wear a Cub hat. I wear a hat every day.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So you're a Cub fan.
I'm a Cub fan.
Pittsburgh Steeler football.
Yeah.
You mess with basketball at all?
I used to, you know, watch a lot of the basketball back in the day when Jordan played, but I don't waste too much time watching basketball anymore, and I'm definitely a Blackhawks fan.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, I love going to Pittsburgh, you know. I've been out there, I don't know, I think 4 or 5 times now. But anytime they go, you know, close to here, I don't know, I've probably been to 12 games maybe, somewhere around there.
I love sporting events,
Yeah.
no matter what it is. I mean, I even went to a NASCAR event in Phoenix when I lived there. I have no clue about NASCAR, other than they're making a bunch of left turns. But it was one of the sweetest environments ever. Same thing, golf. You know, go to the John Deere. I've been to the Waste Management one in Phoenix. There's just something about being at an event. And we've talked about soccer. I mean, I'm sure a soccer event, you can probably just feel the energy.
Oh, there's no doubt you can. I mean, they just had all them games on TV here a while back, and I mean,
the World Cup.
Yeah, the people are going crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Crazy. And it was. I don't know if it was maybe one of the more popular World Cups that, as far as views and everything, I don't know.
I think every World Cup it goes up in audience.
Yeah.
But that happens because, like, for example, the United States, soccer is not very common, but it's becoming more popular. So more and more people, where soccer was not that popular, now it is, and then people are watching more. So this last World Cup was one of the records. Yeah. For sure.
I just like going to the NFL games. I mean, you know, I don't ever, if I'm going to Pittsburgh, of course, I'm not just driving down there and going to the game. You know, I'm staying for 2 or 3 days.
Sure.
Make a trip of it. And it's always nice to go to Pittsburgh because they got a lot of nice things set up in the market alleys and stuff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the schedule coming out because I see that the Steelers are going to Vegas this year.
Ooh.
So
you could probably convince me to go with you to that one. I love
well,
Las Vegas.
You'd have to fight the wife with that one, you know.
Well, I'll stay out of your way.
Yeah, there
you guys can have your time.
Yeah, we got married out there. Actually, our 30th wedding anniversary was during COVID, and so we usually make a trip out there every 5 years. You know, so we miss that trip. So I mean, she's definitely ready to go, and we do go out there every once in a while. You know, the pool and spa industry does put on, you know, seminars and shows and throughout the winter months. And so if it's in Vegas, we go. You know, normally we go.
What do you like to do in Las Vegas?
gamble and sightsee.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm a people watching fool,
Oh,
man.
oh,
I love Las Vegas.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can just sit on a bench
Yeah.
and watch every walk of life go by. It's
Yeah.
one of the best things.
Oh yeah, it is, and I mean it's I'm definitely a people watcher, you know, myself, but it's just how it's how things have changed out there, you know. And I mean, I know this is kind of probably going to sound corny because everybody says it. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but you see shit in Vegas that you don't see nowhere else. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Crazy things.
Yeah.
You can literally, like I said, you can watch. And one cool thing too, there's so many people from all over the world that are coming to check out this place. You know, you'll hear different languages. There's people of all different levels of income, all different races and nationality. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
All the different things
dress-
people offer you on the street.
Yeah, yeah, those the card clickers. You know.
Oh yeah,
They just-
yeah.
Those are so fun.
You know, and it used to be that you would go out there and you'd see, you know, people holding signs, you know, will work for food or need food or help the homeless, right? You know, and last time I was out there, marijuana was legal, and there's literally people on the street saying, holding a sign that says "Need money for weed."
Right. They're
And I'm
just
gonna
honest about it.
yeah, and I'm gonna tell you what, their buckets were full. They had more money than the homeless guy.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So yeah, I mean it's really changed since the marijuana's been legal out there for sure. But it's a good time.
Do you like Old Town or the Strip?
We stay on the Strip.
Yeah.
We do usually make a 1-day trip down to the Old Town. You know.
That's where the magic's at, man.
Yeah.
Old Strip?
Yeah.
Old Town.
Oh yeah. It's nice down there too.
Fremont. Right?
Fremont Street. Yeah. Last time we were there, actually the last time that we were there, they blew up the old Frontier. They employed it, and so it's like, I don't know, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, me and Lisa's walking down the street and we see all these people selling, you know, they're selling bottled water. And I mean, they're like every 30, 40 feet. And there's people out there selling masks. And I'm like, babe, I don't get what's going on here, you know, with everybody selling water. They got masks. So we went and we ate, and we overheard some people talking that they're blowing up the Frontier at 2:30 in the morning.
Nice.
And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I want to check that out. So we get, you know, we're watching the clock and it's getting close, and we get down there and there's people everywhere. So about 2:15, fireworks are just going off everywhere. I mean,
So Vegas.
oh yeah. This is a fireworks show like watching 15 4th of Julys at Lake Story. I mean, they just went on and on and on. So then all of a sudden, you know, the fireworks ended, and you hear 3, 2, and this thing came down. And so now this is back when I used to even drink a few cocktails, you know. I don't drink at all, but I'd had a few cocktails. We were having a great time. There was like 6 of us. And all of a sudden I looked across the street, and I just seen this cloud just rolling toward us. I turned around, I'm like, run, babe. And we took off running, and I'm not kidding you, within probably 3 seconds, it just felt like somebody was actually holding an air conditioner right in front of you. You just felt this coolness. And so I'm running, I look behind, you know, and she's chugging along too, and Eric, he's up ahead, he's running. And so anyway, we get back to the hotel, and we walk into the hotel, and after the rest of the guys that we were with came up, they just started laughing. And so they said, you ain't gonna believe what you look like. So I went over, of course, you know, and I go into the restroom and I look. The only thing that was white on me was what was inside of my glasses. Whoa. I had that stuff in my hair, in my pockets, everywhere. We were covered in that dirt. So needless to say, you know, we went up and we took a shower and came back down and finished the evening. But the next day we walked by there, and I think it was like 16 stories. I could be wrong, could have been 14. But they had the Frontier sign all the way up at the top. And they had, of course, a fence around it. The next morning when we're going to breakfast, that Frontier sign is laying down where the chain link fence is at, with one piece of broken glass out of it.
Wow.
So that thing, you know, it was amazing. It actually, it put a true perspective for me into 9/11. You know, I couldn't imagine what them people were dealing with. You know, this was like entertainment for us because we knew it was going to happen.
Right.
And it was a mess. But it for me, it definitely put a true perspective into 9/11. I couldn't imagine it.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps now just you saying that because we've all seen the news, right?
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
When that happened,
Yep.
And the people and the panic and
Oh,
chaos.
Lord, I'm telling you what, I couldn't imagine. I mean, we were across the street, you know, and the main strip, you know, there are 3 lanes, and then there's a little island, and then 3 lanes. So that's all the further we were away from it. And that stuff hit us within seconds.
Right.
And I'll never forget the feeling neither, because you know, I mean, we had shorts and stuff on. It was nice, you know. It wasn't real nice. I think it was even in November. But we're, you know, from the Midwest, we're wearing shorts on. You know, it's 63 degrees out there, and they got their coats and stuff on. You know.
Right.
But yeah, it was something.
Yeah. I had a buddy in Las Vegas at the Fitzgerald, which is now, well, it changed names to the D, and I don't know what it is, if it still is the D. I haven't been out there in a few years. But he was playing the Caribbean Stud and got dealt the Royal Flush and got the big accumulating jackpot, 187,000 on the whole big, you know, it sits there and runs. And yeah, he hit that thing, man. Brought it to him all in chips.
Yeah, you know, we was talking about people watching. That's some of the cool stuff that you get to see out there. You know what I mean? I mean, I've literally seen a guy lose, you know, $20,000 in probably 30 minutes. You know, just crazy. Something that, you know, we would never do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if I go gambling, you know, I don't never take what I can't afford to lose. But
Right.
you know, yeah, it's you don't see that. You know, you can go up to the casinos or stuff around here. You're not going to see anything like that. You know, they'll have a ring around this guy, and there'll just be people watching him throughout this money.
A lot of people make money though, right? A lot of people make good
yeah.
money there.
I mean,
a lot of people lose a lot of
Obviously,
money.
more lose. I always say they don't get the shiny lights in these big buildings off of winners.
Exactly.
You know, so
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Anytime gambling, the house has the odds,
Oh, yeah.
or they want to be in business.
That's the most expensive square foot in America, right? Like the strip.
I
like,
would assume.
I would say it's the most
Honestly,
expensive
It's got to
place.
be up there. And I know there's places in New York that are probably pretty pricey
But those
too,
hotels, man, those
Las
the
Vegas,
pink
there's
and
a lot of money going in and out of that place at all times.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I mean,
All the events as well. They make.
They don't have windows. What's crazy, right? Like everywhere you go, there's no windows and there's no clocks.
yep.
They don't want you to see it's
To see
getting
what's
dark
happening.
outside. They don't want you to see the sun's coming up. They don't want you checking what time it is. Just keep pumping, man. Keep pumping.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. You know, and then we're talking about, you know, nowadays we're talking about going green, saving energy, and all this kind of stuff. You know,
Sustainability.
they're going to have to put some doors on the casinos. I mean, you know, it'll be 90 degrees in Vegas, or hotter, of course, and the fronts of these places are wide open with the air conditioning blowing. You know, I mean, what are we doing here? You know,
They want you to see what's inside. Come on in, man.
Exactly.
And I love about Vegas too is that you can literally so you know, if you're at a place and you're like, hey, let's finish these drinks and go to the next place, right? You don't even have to finish your drink. You can just say, let's go to the next place. So you can walk around with it. It's
That was a thing that I thought was similar to Brazil. I think Vegas is the only place you can drink outside, right? Like outdoors.
in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can
'Cause-
just take off.
I mean, here you can't. Right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll get in trouble.
I was like, I'm feeling like I'm in Brazil. I can drink outside.
So yeah, that's what we went in. I know one time we had just got checked in the hotel. There's like a Circle K gas station across the street. I mean, you literally go there. We bought like the tall boy. It's a 20-ounce can. And you just as soon as you bought it, you know, open it and step outside and watch everybody do their thing. And it's great. I always say I am my best when I'm in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
No, it's not true.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel, man.
And,
I love
you know,
that place.
because I don't know, for me, you know, it's hard for me to relax anyway. So, but if I go to Vegas, I can relax, and I don't need to gamble.
Right.
You know, I'm perfectly content going and hanging out around the pool, and you know, during the day, and actually, like our next trip that we do make, we're gonna sleep during the day, and then see things at night, because there's stuff that happens between, you know, mid-morning or whatever until, you know, 6 or 7 o'clock. But if you're not out there at 2:30, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you miss a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's some silly.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally different. Of course, we know why, but
Right.
the thing of it is that if that's what we want to start doing, we want to have a day trip, and then next time we go, we try to go every 5 years, you know, for our anniversary. You know, we went out there to get married. We got married in Vegas.
With the Elvis, or did you do like the?
No, we just went to one of the wedding chapels, and
I got married in Las Vegas.
yeah.
But my second time.
Yeah. I mean, I
It's
figured
called Ceremony in the Clouds. It's the what's the tall
stratosphere.
Yeah, stratosphere. Yeah. So they have a way at the very top, this like balcony you go out on, and the guy comes out and, you know, he does the service, and it's called Ceremony in the Clouds. And so afterwards they give you a bottle of champagne, stand there and just watch. You know, it's all Vegas. They have those rides too at the top of that stratosphere.
Yeah.
And you're like kind of right next to those. You're watching people. You know, it shoots. There's like it's like a roller coaster cart, but it like takes you out over the edge and then brings you back, and people are freaking out, and I'm standing there like,
interesting.
You could never get me on that thing.
No, it's actually insane. I mean, I would never do that. You know, I'm not a roller coaster guy anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't like that stuff anymore. I as a kid, I'd be all for it. I don't know, and anymore, I'm not. But have you ever been skydiving? You
No.
get to do that? You didn't get to do that in the Army or anything?
No, I mean, I had an option of doing it.
Sure.
You know, everybody that goes in the service has a chance to get their jump wings if they want. No, I
Didn't interest you?
didn't interest me at all. No.
Yeah. Would you go? I think we've talked about this before. I can't remember.
Skydiving?
Yeah. Would
No.
you do it? No interest?
Nope.
No.
I wouldn't.
I feel like you would.
No.
I did it one time on my 23rd birthday, and it was awesome. I mean,
Now that I have Julian, now that I have a little son, I just had 3 months ago my little boy.
Oh,
now I want to
congratulations.
thank you. I want to be careful with things that I might die if I do.
You know,
I
you
understand.
I want to risk management.
Yeah,
you know? So,
you think about them kind of things, you know, because I've been lately thinking about, you know, when I was younger again, you know, I used to race 3-wheelers, which you know,
Dangerous as heck.
Oh yeah, they don't even make them anymore.
Right.
But you know, so I was always kind of into going fast and being kind of crazy. And so I was thinking just here not too awful long ago about, you know, maybe getting me another motorcycle and start, you know, doing some things, you know. However, with society and people not paying attention anymore,
Right.
I keep thinking, you know, to me, as much as I want to do it, I'm not saying that I'm scared. I like to think that I'm being smart about it, because people just don't pay attention. You know, I just got run off the road day before yesterday, you know, and I'm sure that they were on their phone.
Absolutely.
So I look at the fact of, you know, being hurt, not being able to go to work, you know, maybe interfering with, you know, watching some of my grandkids' functions as they get. I mean, you know, you never know what's going to happen when you get hit on a motorcycle.
Exactly.
And I understand that that's also a chance you take. But yeah, like you said, the older, well, in my case, the older I get, in your case, you know, now that you have your son, you know, them things have more of a perspective. You
for
know?
sure, yeah.
Just like snow skiing. I used to ski when I was in the service. Thought about, it'd be fun to go snow skiing again, but you know, you break your leg or something like that, I guess it isn't so much fun. But
see, my daughter Kendra's been all into snow skiing the last 2 years, and we'll go. I'll go with. I hate the snow. First of all, I just go because it's very important to her. So she's the only reason I'm there. Other than that, I'm pretty miserable and don't want to be doing it. But she's all like, "Hey, come over and get this." That hill's not for me.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that, you know. And here's my 11-year-old telling me I'm chicken and I'm scared. I said, no, I gotta go to work Monday.
Yeah.
You don't understand,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, that's the last thing. I shattered my right shoulder and went through months and months of pain and discomfort and therapy, and that reminds me every time, like I don't want any of that anymore.
Well, you guys are much younger than me, but I mean,
I still don't want it.
Yeah, yeah, and the older you get, it takes longer to heal too. You know what I mean?
No skydiving, no motorcycles, no
you know, I
aggressive
Well, why,
sports.
you still drive like a maniac.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Hey, watch, you're going to be halfway back to Galesburg, and this guy is going to come flying by you.
He's lying. He's lying.
Okay.
Yeah, I get enough adrenaline rushes sometimes from like digging.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of things go into building pools. It's kind of riskier.
So tell us about
I should
that.
say you need to have a set. You know, because there's a lot of challenges. You know.
What's some of the dangerous things of when you're doing a pool?
Well, the main thing is I mean, you gotta, number one, you got 2 or 3 guys in a hole while you're digging. You know, so there's always chances of, you know, ground giving away, you know, things like that. Hillsides, I happen to be one that I love challenges. So tight fits are really challenging, but they're rewarding. But they can be dangerous, you know, because, you know, you've got a house 5 feet from here, you got a garage 5 feet from here. You know, but mainly is the part about the digging part is worrying about the ground collapsing.
Has that ever happened?
It has. But you know, you got to be paying attention. You got to be ready.
And what do you do if that happens? Just put some.
Well, my first instinct is the first thing I do is, you know, I'm always thinking about my next move when I'm digging. So I always have to know where my guys are at.
Okay.
But I mean, the first thing you do is, you know, drop the bucket, you know, to try to prevent it from coming all the way over. And then normally I check my pants to make sure things are still good there. And then, you know, we get right back on it. But I mean, as far as dangerous, that's about the extent of it, other than, you know, working on hillsides. Like the one we got at Oak Run right now, it's probably been one of the most challenging ones that I've dug in quite a while, because I mean, you make a mistake there, you know, we have about 4 or 5 feet, and you're going down, you're probably you would end up in the lake.
What do you do if you run into a gas line or water line or electrical?
We don't ever do that.
No?
I mean,
You don't want to do that.
You check that before? And
yeah. I mean, before we dig any holes, you know, we call Julie. They come out and they mark it, and then, you know, we have to work around that. But usually, you know, that's not an issue.
Okay.
Where the swimming pools are going, because I've already checked that.
Okay.
But we do hit tiles. You know, a lot of people, you know, we do a lot of building in newer homes, and you know, if they've got their gutters running into a pipe, we'll hit the pipes, and then we just have to reroute them. But other than that, you know, many years ago when I first started, you know, we did get into a septic tank. That one was one that, you know, was kind of a little costly, but for the most part, you know, we're good. We haven't ran into no, you know, remains or nothing like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, bottles is probably the main thing that.
Bottles?
Yeah.
Old bottles?
Oh yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, we just found one there used to be a bottling company here in Monmouth. Actually, sometime when you're in the store, I'll have to show you, but it's a bottle from Monmouth. A bottling company.
Any idea how old?
Oh, if I had to guess, one of my employees did look it up, and it was worth like $18.
So you found the bottle under the...
Like while digging up the earth? Yeah,
Okay.
some old stuff from I don't, 1930, 18. You can find all types of stuff.
Oh yeah, we
Start
find.
digging.
We
What's
find,
the craziest thing you found under the ground
Um,
that you can remember? Bottle.
a junkyard,
Okay.
Found like a whole
like literally probably a junkyard.
yeah.
That's one of the things that happens. Back in the day, they used to have burn barrels. Everybody burned their trash.
Yeah.
And then, the barrels would end up burning up, and then, you get another one, and they just dump that stuff. But that's probably one of the worst things that we run into. We do run into sometimes. It doesn't happen very often, but, it's a clause in our agreement, of course, because sometimes people say, well, we want a pool right here. Okay, that's great. This would be a good location. And then we start digging, and we hit an oak tree that's 2.5, 3 foot round. We're talking an old tree,
Right.
and we had no clue that it was there, but they did. So you kind of gotta pay attention to that a little bit, because that can cause other issues. The main thing is that you want to set when you're setting these pools, whether it's an above ground or an in ground. It's prudent that it's setting on virgin ground. You don't want to be over digging and then filling this in, to set the pool up. Eventually something's going to move, right? So sometimes that creates something, but for the most part, we've never really had any issues other than the junk that we find in there.
Yeah.
Because that's all got to be disposed of, and or you can't. The customer ain't gonna want to backfill their yard with that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So and then tree roots is usually the main thing.
If people want to get in contact with you, what number should they call? Just so on the telling to the camera.
Well, they can call the main store. We have 2 locations. We have Galesburg, and it's 309-343-1325, and then we have the Macomb store, which is 837 Pool. But we have social media, and we have a web page, and
You do a good job on Facebook sharing some pictures and projects of in-ground digging and pools that you're putting up or going. I've seen some of those.
yeah, that's some of the things, kind of like when we talked about, and I'm sure me and Victor will be talking after we're done or some other time. That's one of the things that I'm behind on. I'm not very tech savvy, but we have to do it. So my youngest son, Cole, he's going to be taking over here one of these days, and I need to just turn the reins over to him and let him start taking care of some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then
That's what's cool with
to
the
me
family.
it doesn't really matter. I guess I shouldn't say it doesn't matter. It does matter, but I've been doing this long enough that I really don't have to. I don't mean to sound arrogant or nothing neither, but I really don't have to wait for the phone to ring to build pools.
A lot of referrals.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
About 80% of what I do is referrals.
That's awesome.
Now, since the pandemic, of course, the phone is just ringing off the hook. People are coming, out of the woodwork. But yeah, most of what I do is by referrals. So I don't know if that's why I just tend to,
Or you stay busy enough to where it doesn't have to become a priority.
Yeah, exactly,
really,
exactly. But you do, because your competition is going to be out there talking smack as usual, and you have to stay on top of
Yeah,
things.
absolutely. Because
And-
one day it may get slow.
Yeah.
So you don't want to wait till then to start going, oh, now we got to advertise.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I started that, branding, many years ago, as you're well aware of that. But I always knew that when I started the branding that you either got to have a jingle,
Yeah.
or you got to have a slogan.
Yeah.
So, I didn't want to mess with no jingle. So my slogan is building more than backyard dreams, building relationships.
Okay.
And it's true. You know, that's exactly how it works. You know, I've got a lady right here in Monmouth that's probably sold me, 4 or 5 swimming pools. You know, she sells me swimming pools almost every year. So the referral part is huge to me. I take care of my customers after the fact, but I'm also blessed to have a good staff too, I mean, being a family business is tough. I mean, starting a business is tough, but,
well, you got your wife in there, your brother, your son.
Yeah.
And it is a family business.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not always the easiest to work with your family either. I mean, even though you get along.
Yeah.
But it's still,
for the most part, I mean, we do have a few disagreements here and there, but, a lot of people will ask me, I mean, me and Lisa, we're going to be married 33 years this year, and we work together every day.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then people ask, well, how do you do it? We do it because, it's our life for one. And, nothing's going to destroy, our the last thing I would let my business destroy our relationship. I would close that place down before I ever let it, But my brother Rick takes care of a lot of things for me, which is really, really good. And then, of course, my son Cole, he's going to be taking over. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't really know. Me and you talked about this. I could retire. I could retire right now if I wanted to, but what am I going to do? And I don't need to go sightseeing. I don't need to go see Mount Rushmore. That's not me. So but it's time for let him do that part. And then it'll be things will be different. The cool thing about it is that he'll be the 3rd generation.
Yeah.
I'm the 2nd, and then he'll be the 3rd generation. I don't see his son ever building swimming pools, but I mean, I guess you never know.
You really don't.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, he loves. He loves to go to work with me. He loves getting in the equipment, and getting the big digger or the skid loader, But I don't know. I hope he doesn't, but yeah, you never know.
Right. We did say for sure we were going to talk about skinny dipping before the show was over. Have you ever been, Victor?
What's a skinny dipping?
See, this is what I'm talking about. You don't know what skinny dipping is?
No.
It's when you get in the pool naked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I've heard that before.
What do you call it? If you were to say, "Hey, let's get in the pool naked," or you don't have
naked
a word?
swim. Yeah.
Naked swim.
Naked swim.
Yeah, skinny dip.
Okay.
That's what it's called. So have you ever had an experience like that?
Probably.
In Brazil?
Yeah.
You gonna plead the 5th on us? He said, "No, I'm not saying nothing." But no, we made jokes about that because you're gonna have him come in and we're gonna talk about anything and everything.
Yeah, Lauren said, why don't you come in and talk? I said, well, what are we gonna talk about? Why you shouldn't skinny dip naked? But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that happens a lot. I mean, I definitely don't put no clothes on when I get in my swimming pool. At 9 o'clock at night. I mean, ain't nobody gonna see in my backyard either.
Yeah.
And we got customers say, make sure you call before you come.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Well, we know why we need to call before we come. Right? Yeah, it is. It's you see, that's one of the coolest things about this is that you meet a lot of people, a lot of different people, and it's amazing with some of the stuff that you see.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Probably some of the best ones would be as far as customer wise. I've had a couple, so I mean I feel good about saying this. I'm definitely not going to mention any names, but I had a customer. They got a brand new hot tub, and we delivered it. I think it was the very next day, but it could have even been that night. And they said, me and the wife, we was in the hot tub, and everything was working just fine. He said the water was just a moving. And he said, about 20 minutes, he said, We turned it back on. I'm like, that's normal because they have a shut off, you know, in case you get out and you don't shut it off, they're going to shut off. We turned it back on. Everything was working fine. And all of a sudden it went to like it wasn't hardly moving anything. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, this is like 9:30 at night when he called me. And I'm like, well, we'll just have to get out there and look at it, you know. So I get over there, you know, the next morning I go over there and I hit the jet button, you know. Yeah, the water's barely moving. So, you know, I'm thinking to myself, done a lot of service work, right? Don't have to think too hard here. I'm thinking, did one of you guys lose some clothes last night? And he's like, yeah. He's like, the wife lost her bottoms. And I'm like, well, that's why you're not moving no water. So sure enough, you know, I take the panel off, shut the ball valves off, take the union off the front of the pump. Her bottoms were in a ball about like that.
Oh my God.
You know, just that impeller, they were just all wound up in the impeller.
Oh,
That's crazy.
So, you know, pulled them out. Of course, you know me, Lauren. I was like, go in and get her. She needs to face the music. You know, well, she never came out and faced the music. But I mean, this has happened, you know, 2 or 3 times. So,
sure.
Yeah. Kind of, you know, when you got a hot tub and a pool in your backyard, it's kind of like what we just talked about in Vegas. You know, what happens in your backyard stays in your backyard. But
That's funny. That should be your next slogan.
what's that?
Munson Pool and Spa. What happens in your backyard
Yeah,
stays in your backyard.
Yeah.
Dave, thanks for coming, man. I
Yeah.
really hope you enjoyed yourself.
Oh, I did.
I know I did. I was looking forward to this.
Yeah.
But I do. I appreciate you as a friend and getting to know you. We'll have to get out and golf this year. I know we've said that for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
But we'll make a point this year to get out. And,
That would be great. And, you know,
sure.
I appreciate you having me. And, you know, just a little plug for you guys. You guys don't change anything that you guys are doing because I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. And
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, man.
It should definitely be paying off in the long run.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
No,
man.
I appreciate it. You had said that to me at your shop one day. We were talking. You said, "Hey, why didn't you tell me you were doing this podcast?" You came across it somehow, and then you said, "I sat there and watched it, and then I had to go to the store, and the next thing I know, I'm walking out the door watching the whole thing."
Yeah, well, I mean, the very first time, you know, because again, you know, I'm not tech savvy. You know, I don't sit there and do things like this, you know what I mean? But when I found out about it, and the reason why, you know, I told you what I told you, number one is I feel that, but I couldn't shut it off.
Right.
You know, so when I couldn't shut it off, I thought, that's some good shit, you know? I mean, I couldn't shut it off.
That's good to hear, man.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, and like we talked about as well, you know, you don't have to watch it. You can listen to it going down the road and still understand it. But yeah, thanks a lot. And if you guys, you know, ever need a swimming pool or something, you know who to call.
Thank
Absolutely.
you very much, Dave.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You got Dave Munson, Munson Pool and Spa, owner and an amazing friend, husband, father, all that good stuff. Grandfather, too.
Grandfather, yeah. I got 4 grandkids
Right.
now.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, Dave.
Yep.
You guys, thank you for all the support with the Talk About It podcast. I always say if you're still watching at this point, there's no reason you shouldn't have hit subscribe by now. Keep helping us out. Victor Dantas, I'm Lauren Fulmer.
See you guys next week.
Peace. Thank you for watching this episode of the Talk About It podcast.
I'm Victor Dantas.
I'm Lauren Fulmer.
And we would encourage you guys to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell. It's going to be right below the video. So you
Hit
guys,
the bell.
so you know when the next episode is up. All
We
right?
appreciate all the support.
Thank you.